What I'd like to show you today is how to put together a slab box. This will be part one. There'll be cleanup and opening it up. But right now, I'm going to show you how to join the pieces together. So what I did a day or two ago is roll out a slab of clay. I cut the edges so they're nice and even and put it on a board, left it out while I was here, and then I covered it up overnight. I covered it with plastic, and when it got to this consistency, see, it still bends, but it stands up. When it got to this consistency, I wrapped it all the way around. If you want to maintain that consistency, every so often, spray it with a little water, mist it with some water, and wrap it again. And that'll keep it just right and ready to build. So I want to cut out some pieces, and I'm going to do a random box. Good tools to use. What you don't want to use is a needle tool. What you do want to use is a sharp knife. So you've got the Beveling knife, which is great. It won't scratch your tape, won't cut through canvas. My favorite is an X-Acto knife because it's a lot sharper, but it will mark canvas and mark whatever board you have. And to cut a hard slab, you do multiple cuts. Just go through it gradually. Then you'll get a really clean cut. I want to make a rectangular box, so squaring this off. I'll use this knife now. Now these pieces, you can save them, put them under plastic, or put them in water and let them reconstitute to plastic clay, or dry them out and make slip. I'm going to cut out one side. So I'm going to make this maybe 4 inches. 4 inches. Now these can be whatever dimensions you want. And you'll notice I'm cutting this with a flat edge. I'll do 4 inches by 4 inches. Now, I'm going to put a piece on top like this, and another here, and another here. Now, so that's one. Now, if you want it exact, you have to consider the thickness of the clay. I'm not concerned about that on this box. I don't want it to be an absolute cube, so it really doesn't matter for this one for me. But if you do, take into consideration that extra 1/4 inch when you're cutting it. I like to use the carpenter's square. You can use any straight edge, but the straight edge helps you get a straight line. Hold it down tight. Okay, I've got my sides. Now, let me show you some possibilities for joining. 6 pieces. Always make more than you need, so you have these to work with. And they still have a little bit of a bend to them, but they're good. Now, you can put them on top of each other and overlap them like this. So it'd be like that, that, and then I trim that a little bit and put that on there. That's how I'm going to do this. The other option is if you have textured this, bevel this edge. And what I mean by that is cut it at an angle. Okay, so I've beveled this edge. I'm going to bevel this edge. I'm cutting it at a 45-degree angle. Then this one, I'll do the same thing. Now, if you're a really precise kind of person, you may want to, really make sure it's an absolute perfect 45. But remember, you're joining, it's clay. You're joining it with slip. And there's some leeway. You can fiddle with it a little bit. So these pieces are going to go together like that with a bit of an overlap. This piece, see, I've got my angle there. It can go together like this. And when that goes together, you have that nice corner. You also have a nice big area that it's connected to. I'm going to show you the easiest way right now. So start with, cut out your slabs. These are leather hard, so I need to score and slip it. So, and don't just scratch gently. Really give it a good, rough it up nicely. Blop some slip on there. Slip's a little on the thick side. I'm going to thin it just a bit. And then when you put the slab on, scoot it back and forth and really push it down. So you see how the slip oozed out in there. I'm letting that edge be a little bit further out, and then after it firms up, after these equalize in moisture, I'm going to take it and trim that extra piece off, so I'll have a really crisp edge. Now, anytime you join 2 pieces of clay like this, you have a weakness right here in the corner. So a good thing to do is to take and roll a small coil and just stuff it into that corner. And I'm going to do that on every single corner that I can reach. So now I'm going to continue. Score, 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 and score, slip, 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 and squish. Just really push it down and push it together to help guarantee that seam. You could paddle it a little bit. You could roll it a little bit. Just make sure that that join is really tight. And then add, now it's a little dry on both sides. I'm just going to take the sponge, wipe off that extra slip, and it moistens it a little bit there. And I'm going to add another coil. Just blend it into that corner. The sooner you do that, the better, because this is leather hard, this is soft, and if you don't do it soon, you'll get some little cracks along there. But what this does is it reinforces that corner. Okay. Just work my way around. Better. Okay. Score, 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 slip, 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 and squish. Really just force it into that seam. Just really give it a good push. Get that slip oozing out of the joint. Add your coils. Doesn't have to be big. Just a little reinforcement on those corners. Just dampening the corner to help that plastic clay adhere. Now I need to trim one of these sides a little bit. So I'm going to use this as a guide. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. That fits in just like that. Score, score, score. Score, score, and score. And slip. Being pretty generous with the slip. You know, it does ooze out. And I'm also being very generous with the scoring. I'm really getting deep. And then squish it together. Don't just gently do it. Really come back and press that seam. Paddle it. And remember, you can use something like this. This is a kitchen utensil for paddling. Just a piece of wood that doesn't have any finish to it. I'm going to clean up that extra slip and then add coils to the inside. Really smear it into that corner. Blend it in. So you'll have a strong box when you're done. Okay. So, got a basic box. You could leave these seams the way they are. You can trim them, but wait until it firms up a little bit. Wait till those joints are firm. Now, top edge isn't totally level, so I've got to level that out a little bit. Now, a good tool to use is a straight edge. So, you can use anything that's metal. You go over it like that. Another good tool to use is called a Sureform, and it's a rasp. They come in different styles. This is a little bigger one. And you can level that top edge using this before I add the last slab. Now look at these great shavings. That'll dry out very nicely to make slip later. Okay. Okay, so this is how it looks on the inside now and the outside. Turn it over, and I'll cut the last piece out. So to get it, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than I need. So I'll draw around it with using the stick for a measure. To get the size right. Slice it up. It's good to make your slabs at the same time so they have the same moisture. I've got my basic box. Got the lid. Now, this is one option. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that's level, score slip this on. Another option is to take a piece of clay and make a slab. Texture your slab. Cut your piece out. this can be pretty random. I'm just going to guesstimate because I'm going to trim it later. Now, I've got texture on one side. I'm going to place it on the top. Take the sponge and press it in. So when I flip it over, I have a dome. So I could use this, or I could use the flat one. I think I'm going to use the flat one. So place it on there. Draw around it so you know where to score. And score and slip. The more level that is, the easier it's going to be for you. I'm scoring it again just for insurance after putting the slip on. Okay. Place it on. And get it to join. Clean up those seams a little bit. And I'm going to leave it rough like this for a while and let all those joins kind of even out in the moisture. So, and a good way to keep it that way and let it equalize is to put a little plastic over it. Okay, that's part one of making the box. Part two will be cleaning it up, opening it up, and doing something for the top. So thank you.